Meghan Markle, she's your favourite. We have to talk about her 45th birthday. It went publicly unacknowledged by the royal family on Tuesday.
This was staged, composed and posted with intention.
Meghan Markle has lied about her age. She's actually older.
This birthday, this 45th birthday, has turned into an absolute disaster for Meghan Markle.
Something is clearly wrong with Meghan. And I don't mean it in a bad way. But I mean, how can you get your age so wrong?
She was 21 at the time in 1997. That would make her birthday as 1976.
Meghan Markle seems to lack one very key thing in the public's eye, and that is a defined identity.
She posted one birthday photo and accidentally proved everything her critics have been saying for years. The math doesn't lie. The magazine from 1997 doesn't lie. And her own father couldn't even answer the simplest question when asked, is Meghan Markle really 45? Or has this whole thing been a lie from the very beginning?
This is a copy of 17 magazine, and it was published in March of 1997. In it, it mentions our Megzy is from Los Angeles and that she was 21 years old at the time of publication. That would make her birth year at around 1976. However, why is it saying here she was born 5 years later in 1981?
Picture this. It is your birthday, one of the big ones, the kind that deserves cake and noise, and the people you love crowded around you making a fuss.
Oh no, what a shame. What a shame. Here I was preparing a special episode of the show to mark Meghan Markle's 45th birthday.
Now picture posting a photo of that birthday for the entire world to see. Who is in your photo? Your partner, your children, maybe your mother, your closest friends, the people who showed up, the people who always show up. Because that is what a birthday looks like when your life is genuinely full.
But what's strange is what's missing. No Harry standing off to the side with a proud husband smile. No kids in the background eating cake. No friends caught mid-laugh. Just Meghan, alone, mid-air, on what's supposed to be one of the warmest days of anyone's year.
Now look at what Meghan Markle posted on her birthday this week. One woman, a rope swing, a pool, and a sky full of balloons that nobody else was invited to hold. That is it. That is the entire picture. No Harry, not standing off to the side with a proud smile, not visible anywhere in the background, completely absent.
Meghan spent her birthday completely alone. No Harry in the frame, no Lily, no Archie. Just her, a rope swing, and a bunch of balloons in black and white like she was styling her own loneliness.
No Archie reaching for something he should not be touching. No Lily. No Doria. Her own mother did not appear in a single frame. No friends caught mid-laugh the way real candid birthday photos look. Just Meghan, a professional photographer who is clearly hired for the occasion, and a black and white filter that someone decided would make a staged pool jump look spontaneous. It did not look spontaneous. It looked like a production. And the details made it worse the longer you looked.
So this is a woman whose entire public identity got rebuilt around togetherness. The dinner parties, the friendship bracelets, the we language in every caption, and on the one day that's actually about her, the frame is empty except for her. So somebody in that household has an Instagram strategist, and I have to assume they saw this before it went up.
She jumped into that pool wearing sunglasses. She jumped in wearing an expensive watch. She jumped in wearing jewelry on both wrists worth more than most people earn in a month. Nobody who is genuinely living a joyful, unscripted birthday moment jumps into a pool with their sunglasses still on. That is something you do when the camera matters more than the swim.
She is jumping into a pool with her black bathing suit on. Happy birthday. According to People magazine, the photos were taken by a friend during an early birthday celebration in California. So I imagine maybe this is Masan Harriman or something. They roped him into doing this. And so she's like, I'm going to celebrate my birthday. And then splashing in, thank you for the birthday love. I mean, honestly, I feel like that's so weird.
Then there is the pool itself. Several viewers who have followed the story for years notice something immediately. The pool in those birthday photos does not appear to match the pool at the Montecito property. Their home has an in-ground pool. The one in the birthday photos looks very much like an above-ground pool. Nobody has explained where those photos were actually taken. Nobody from her team has addressed it. The location, like so much else surrounding this woman, remains quietly unanswered.
That entire visual language is gone this year, replaced by one woman, one rope, and a sky full of balloons that nobody else seems to have been invited to hold. And here's the part that makes it land differently than a normal solo post. Solo content works when it's framed as strength. A woman standing on her own, celebrating herself, no apology needed.
Compare this to previous years. There were group shots once. There was the visual language of a family, Harry somewhere in frame. The warmth of people who actually showed up. All of that is completely gone.
But compare it to literally any other years of birthday content from this household and the absence, stands out. Did you go back and look at how these birthdays used to get documented? Group shots, Archie's little hands reaching for cake, Harry somewhere in frame with that besotted look he used to wear for the cameras.
What replaced it is a woman alone in midair with balloons, photographed in black and white, posted to an Instagram account where the comments are turned off so nobody can respond directly. When your own birthday post requires a professional photographer, a filter, and disabled comments, something has gone very wrong.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to save all of those positive words, okay? Because while it might be her birthday, we have to follow the news, Link. It's what we do.
Yes,
So you remember yesterday, Meghan posted this truly bizarre Instagram story.
But here's the thing. As striking as all of that is, the staging, the loneliness, the sunglasses, the mystery pool, none of it is actually what people are talking about today. Because when the internet looked at that birthday post, the question they asked had nothing to do with Harry or the balloons or whose pool that even was.
So strip the crowd out and keep the choreography, and what you're left with looks less like independence and more like a party that never quite happened. It's very depressing, in fact.
The question was much simpler and much more uncomfortable. How old is she really? This is not a new conversation. If you have been following this story for any length of time, and something tells me most of you have, you already know that Meghan Markle's age has been questioned for years.
Is Megsy really lying about her age? Now, when you Google her, it says that she was born on the 4th of August 1981. And with today being her birthday, as of me recording this video, it's saying that she's 44 years old.
She celebrates another 45th birthday. The conversation gets louder. This year, it did not just get louder. It exploded. And this time there are receipts. Two numbers are at the center of this debate. 45, the official version. The number her team presents, the number the press repeats, the number she has been celebrating for what an increasing number of people believe is far longer than she should have been.
She will be 46 in August on her birthday. When you Google Megsy's birthday, she's 41. And apparently it's going to be 42 on the 4th of August, 1981.
And 51, the number that a growing body of documented evidence points toward. Not guesswork, not jealousy, documents, timelines, people who knew her, and one very specific magazine.
It's her 45th birthday. And amid the feud, which her family members could snub the Duchess. Let's talk about this. Some royal family members will likely acknowledge her 45th birthday, while others may give her the cold shoulder. Prince Harry's dad, King Charles, will very likely send his birthday wishes on the big day.
Now, before we get to that magazine, and we are getting there is someone who deserves to be acknowledged right now. Someone who has been saying all of this for years. Someone who was laughed at for saying it. Called bitter. Called jealous. Called a woman with an axe to grind, who could not be trusted. That person is Samantha Markle, Meghan's half-sister.
not a surprise here because, yeah, she lies a lot about her stuff. We've caught her in so many lies. Her own sister has come forward. Her family, everybody is exposing the lies that she's been telling. Her sister, Samantha Markle, has said. Samantha has called out many of her lies. And about her age, in her book, Samantha Markle says in the diary of Princess Pushy's sister, she confirms the year of Meghan's birth is 1976.
And she has been saying her sister is not as young as she claims for longer than most people have been paying attention to this story. Remember that name, because we are coming back to it.
I understand why so many people are upset with her. She has spread so many malicious lies, her own family, and Samantha Markle, to me, is the one that if she really confirmed it, and she did it under oath in court documents, there's nothing here to argue about it, but the date. And Samantha Markle has called out so many of the things that she has lied about. We've done it on countless videos here. It's why so many people are so upset with her and why we're still reporting and why so many people are still interested. And it's why we never know what's really going on with this couple.
And what we are coming back to say about her is not what her critics expected. She has been 45 for so long that the internet started keeping count. For a woman who has built an entire brand around authenticity, being authentically 45 for what appears to be the 10th consecutive year is a problem that no lifestyle brand, no Instagram filter, and no professionally photographed pool jump can fix.
You're wondering, why does her age matter at all? Because her age would also have an impact on her ability to have children. Because if Meghan Markle is 4 years older than what we have been led to believe, it makes it even more difficult to believe that she was able to get pregnant so quickly. Never mind the hysterectomy stories that her family have told. But that would make it more difficult because that would make Meghan Markle near 50.
There is something that needs to be said before we get to the evidence. Something that is not about numbers or documents or timelines, something personal. This audience remembers Diana not as a historical figure, not as a reference point, as someone real. You watched her wedding. You followed her story. You felt something when she died that is difficult to describe to anyone who is not alive for it. That connection is real, and it belongs to you.
Of course, people are so good at this. I don't always look for these things unless they're really fresh in my mind. And honestly, although I'm familiar with Diana, she really wasn't of my generation. So I'm just not. I remember when she died because I was 10, but like that's about it. And so then somebody found this. I mean, everything about this pose is basically the same. Everything about it. You're just missing balloons. Everything about this is exactly the same.
And what Meghan Markle did with her birthday post this week, in the opinion of a very large number of people, crossed a line that should not have been crossed. Within hours of the birthday post going live, royal watchers found it. A photograph of Princess Diana taken in the summer of 1997, the last summer of her life. Diana jumping from a yacht into the sea. And when they placed that photograph next to Meghan's birthday pool photo, the similarities were not subtle. The arms, the position of the body midair, the black swimsuit, the angle, everything aligned so precisely that the word coincidence starts to feel insufficient.
It is Meghan Markle's birthday today, and the name of the game apparently is cosplay, as Meghan is once again cosplaying her mother-in-law, Princess Diana. And of course, this has been talked about for years now. Meghan Markle's incessant need to copy other people, from Diana to the Princess of Wales to other celebrities like Pamela Anderson, Gwyneth Paltrow. Meghan Markle seems to lack one very key thing in the public's eye, and that is a defined identity. From her fashion to her personality to her interests, everything about Meghan seems to be a copy of somebody else.
But here is the detail that tells you everything you need to know about the difference between these two women. Diana took her sunglasses off before she jumped. She was present in that moment, fully in it, living it, not staging it. Meghan kept her sunglasses on because she was not living a moment. She was manufacturing a photograph. Sunglasses off, sunglasses on. That is the whole story in 4 words. It's very stalkerish.
It's very stalkerish. And it's very much Meghan doesn't know who she wants to be. And she desperately, I think, wants to be as beloved as her mother-in-law. And she can't achieve that on her own. So what she does instead is she tries to copy her one for one. It's not an homage, it's basically a copy.
And this was not a one-time thing. The fashion, the poses, the public body language, the framing of charity work, the headbands that suddenly appeared on Meghan's Instagram in recent weeks. The same style Caroline Kennedy made famous.
It's hard to acknowledge. Obviously, I could argue that this is an homage, because Catherine, again, did something similar with her pregnancy here. But this looks like a copy, because Meghan doesn't know how to dress as a British royal, so she just copies what Diana did. Yeah, this, I wouldn't consider that too close. But then we have this. Feels like very Diana inspired.
Posted days before the birthday that bore a striking resemblance to content posted by a popular American creator named Nara Smith. The copying is not limited to Diana. It is a pattern. Birthday after birthday, post after post, collection after collection.
Revealing this was a big, fat copy of the online trad wife Nara Smith, who had posted an almost identical video of wildflowers, and as Sidley pointed out, right on cue, Meghan Markle dropped what she described as the Temu version.
Diana was beloved because she was completely and unmistakably herself. She had no template. She needed no template. She was the original. And Meghan seems to believe that if she copies Diana precisely enough, pose by pose, outfit by outfit, she will eventually be loved the way Diana was loved. What she does not seem to understand is that every attempt makes the gap between the original and the imitation more visible, not less.
And Meghan's an actress, so it's 100% believable that Meghan Markle would take the time to copy and look at Diana's kind of behavior and attempt to emulate it. Yeah, this, very similar. Obviously, the Northwestern t-shirt, having the Lady Dior bag, Meghan Markle's emblazed with DSSOS, Duchess of Sussex. Yes, that is the case.
Now, the magazine. This is not a screenshot. It is not a rumor that circulated on social media. It is not something someone said on a podcast. It is a printed magazine that sat on newsstands across America, that exists in physical archives right now that anyone with a library card can go and find today. That matters because a printed magazine cannot be edited after the fact. It cannot be deleted. It cannot be quietly updated the way a web page can be changed in the middle of the night.
What is going on here? Why the secrecy around this woman's birth certificate? Why the secrecy? Why the mistakes in age that are so blatant for others? And you know what? This is like her education in university, that she claims that she double major in international relations and theater, when Northwestern has never given a major in international relations.
The magazine is the 17 magazine. The edition is March 1997. The page is page 90. Inside a lifestyle feature about young women from Los Angeles, a name appears, Meghan Markle, and next to that name, an age, 21. If she was 21 in March of 1997, her birth year is 1976, not 1981. That is a 5 to 6 year difference.
This is a page from a very, very old 17 magazine. And here it looks like Megxie was like a teen contributor, a young person's contributor to the magazine. And you'll see here that they contribute her as Meghan Markle, age 21, in Los Angeles, in California. Now, this edition of the 17 magazine was released back in 1997. So, if this is to be believed, and she was 21 at the time in 1997, that would make her birthday as 1976.
And if she was truly born in 1981, as she has always claimed, she would have been 15 years old when that magazine was published. Not 21. 15. There is no version of this where both numbers are true. Either she was 21 in 1997 or she was born in 1981. She cannot be both. The math will not allow it.
stupidly put out so many dumb lies, the car chase, etc., that now nobody believes anything they say. And that's scary and dangerous because it sometimes puts us off in directions that we need to be better about. But man, the more and more I look at and research this stuff, I'm not obsessed with these two. I'm looking at them with a very clear eye.
But the magazine is only the beginning because the timeline problems do not stop there. She has told the story of working at Humphrey Yogurt in Los Angeles at the age of 13 many times. The shop has stated they never employed anyone under 16. Los Angeles County law at the time made it illegal to hire anyone under 16. The timeline does not work on her official birth year.
So I have to ask, is this woman crazy? Is she that much of a liar? Or is there something deeper? Because just to give you another example, she claims that she was 13 years of age when she started to work for Humphrey Yogurt, in spite of the fact that Humphrey Yogurt has said that they have never employed anybody at age 13. Number two, she claims that when she started working at Humphrey Yogurt, she ran into Yasmin Bleeth and that she congratulated Yasmin Bleeth for her deodorant commercial. Yasmin Bleeth didn't do that deodorant commercial until 1997.
It works perfectly on the alternative one. She has told the story of writing to Procter & Gamble about a sexist dishwashing soap commercial at age 11. She has told the story at the United Nations. She has told it at South by Southwest. She always says 11. The actual footage from Nick News, the footage that exists and that anyone can watch, shows her saying in her own voice that she is 12 one year.
If Meghan Markle is 5 or 6 and Ralph's already had finished their advertising for $1.99 the Porterhouse in 1982, and Meghan claims that she was born in 1981 and she's 5, that means that she would allegedly be standing in this picture in 1986, 1987. Which doesn't make sense because, as I said, Ralph's had pulled out all their ads. But yet here we have Meghan Markle. If she was born in 1971, August 4th, 1971, and she's 5 or 6 years of age, she's right around the time when Ralph was advertising for this kind of specials.
But it is one more number that does not match the official account. She has told the story of meeting Baywatch star Yasmin Bleeth while working at that same yogurt shop. She claims she was 13 when she complimented her idol on a deodorant commercial. There is one significant problem with that story. The deodorant commercial she described did not air until years later. If she was 13 in 1994, based on her official birth year, that commercial had not been made yet. She could not have complimented someone on an advertisement that did not exist. 1 discrepancy is a mistake. 2 is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. 4 is something else entirely.
Are you telling me that that commercial, which was so pivotal for Meghan Markle, she didn't even bother to watch so she can recount the story and say when I was 12 rather than when I was 11? Because the commercial is out in the public domain, and I will leave the link for you guys to go watch it. It was done when she was 12 years of age. So there is something that is not connected.
Tom Bower is not a blogger. He is not a YouTuber with an opinion. He is one of Britain's most feared investigative biographers. A man who has spent his career finding the things that powerful people do not want found.
No, I choose people who don't want to be written about on the whole, whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know. I wrote 4 years ago a book about Prince Charles, and it was a story about how he had rehabilitated himself after Diana's death, and how Camilla also had to be rehabilitated, and it was a #1. It was a fascinating story.
And when he started pulling the thread on Meghan Markle's timeline, what he found went far beyond one magazine on one page in one archive. Her professional acting profile on IMDb, the profile that casting directors use, originally listed her birth year as 1977, not 1981. At some point, that entry was quietly changed. No announcement, no correction notice, no explanation. It simply shifted.
Meghan Markle, that she spoke 4 languages, that she had a double major in international studies, and that, she was literally a genius. You're probably wondering, what the hell does that have to do with Meghan Markle, the Queen's cousins, and the falsification of death certificates?
Bauer says he has the screenshots taken before the change was made. He tracked down classmates from Northwestern University. He examined group photographs, including one from the university's salsa club, where Meghan appears surrounded by fellow students. He contacted multiple people in those photographs and asked them a simple question. When were you born? Every single one of them said the same thing, early 1970s, not early 1980s.
Professionally, they've gone down dramatically, and I predicted it in the book, but even I would not have thought it'd be that accelerated. I think personally, I think they've separated their professional lives, but I think what's really a great problem for them now, as of in the last few weeks, is that Meghan has got no real income anymore. She's finished.
Right.
The Netflix series is over. There's no great podcast. They don't generate any money. And I don't see where she is going from here. I think she has a major problem. And I think as of this week, the signal for her great problem is that she turned up at Kevin Costner's.
Then Bauer sat down with Thomas Markle, Meghan's own father, the man who was there, the man who drove her to school and to auditions and to birthday parties. He asked him one question. Simple, straightforward. The kind of question every parent on earth should be able to answer without pausing. What year was your daughter born?
So when Meghan came along into the scene, I just thought, this is fascinating. How is this going to play out? To tell the truth, I spoke to very few friends of Meghan because she put a fatwa on anyone talking to me who she could. So I sent off dozens and dozens of emails to her friends, and most of them didn't even reply.
Thomas Markle did not answer immediately. He hesitated, and then he said something that no father should ever need to say about his own child. He said, "Check the records yourself. Check the records yourself." From a father about his own daughter. Let that settle for a moment.
Never mind the story about her seeing Ash and stuff like that, because that has been debunked by her father. Her father said that he picked her up and took her to Palm Springs. So that is done and over with. But as usual, like with Meghan Markle, I don't know whether they're the lies, whether they are absolutely a lack of accountability. The only thing that we have to go on right now is that her father says that she was born in the year that she was born.
And then there is the email. In 2018, Meghan sent briefing notes to her communications secretary ahead of a meeting with the authors of Finding Freedom. That email was later released through the Court of Appeal. In her own words, written in a private email, she never expected to become public. Meghan stated that when her parents separated, she was 2 years old and Samantha was 15. If Samantha was 15 when Meghan was 2, the gap between them is 13 years.
A lot of people, though, say that Samantha Markle had since revealed Megsy's true age in her court documents as part of the defamation suit against her that's happening. Here you can see that Samantha is 58 years old, born in 1964. The court documents from Samantha, she confirms there is a 17-year difference in age.
I'm going to quote Tom Bauer by saying, he said, "Look, we all laughed at Samantha and she was right. And everything she said has come true."
Take Samantha's confirmed birth year of 1964. Add 13. You get 1977, not 1981. Meghan's own words in her own legal document point to a birth year that contradicts her official birthday by 4 full years. Now, Samantha Markle, she said this for years. She wrote about it. She spoke about it publicly. She was called bitter. She was called jealous. She was dismissed as a woman with a personal grudge and nothing credible to offer. Tom Bauer, who has spent his entire career in pursuit of the truth about powerful people, said it publicly and on record. We all laughed at Samantha, and she was right. I'm going to quote Tom Bauer by saying he said, "Look, we all laughed at Samantha, and she was right, and everything she said has come true." For anyone who has been following this story, that sentence should feel exactly like what it is, a verdict. Here is where the age question stops being about embarrassment and starts being about something with real legal weight. Under British law, providing false information on a marriage certificate is fraud, not a mistake, not an oversight, fraud. And fraud is not grounds for divorce. It is grounds for annulment, which means the marriage could be declared to have never legally existed. The horse-drawn carriage, The dress seen by 2 billion people around the world. The ceremony broadcast to every corner of the globe, legally declared to have never happened.
There are so many telltale signs that something is clearly wrong with Meghan. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but I mean, how can you get your age so wrong? Did you know that in 1997, when she met Yasmin Bleeth, when she claims that she was working for Humphrey Yogurt, age 13, she also, or somebody with the name Meghan Markle, filled out a questionnaire for Sears, the company, claiming that she was 21 years of age.
And if the marriage is questioned, Archie and Leet's positions change. Their titles become uncertain. Their place in the line of succession becomes complicated. 2 children who had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. That is the most human consequence of everything we have just covered, and it is the one that should concern people most.
What is really the reality? Because how can nobody correct this woman? She went on Southwest and Texas on that stage with Katie Couric, and Katie Couric asked her, "Can you please tell us the story when you were 11 years old?" I mean, everybody has seen that commercial.
While all of this was circling her birthday, something else landed. Something financial. Something that puts the age question in a very different light when you consider that the money to deal with legal consequences has to come from somewhere. Harry led a lawsuit against the Daily Mail, a lawsuit that collapsed spectacularly. The entire case rested on a key witness named Gavin Burrows. And it has now emerged that Harry's own legal team knew 2 full years before the trial began that Burrows had withdrawn his cooperation entirely. They knew their foundation was gone. They pressed on anyway. Burrows himself went on television and called the entire thing the biggest scam in legal history. Sometimes the biggest mistakes happen on the days you thought you were getting everything right. What do you think? Is she 45 or closer to 51? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you want to know what is coming next for Harry and Meghan, the videos on your screen right now will tell you.